Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Cavan, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I want to applaud, your effort and you have a great resume here, but as the founder of the Fight for Freelancers, and especially in telling your story, it appears to me, in listening to some of these hearings, and I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question, but it appears that the people testifying in the position of the Biden administration is that you just simply are not making good decisions for yourself in choosing to be a contractor. Is that the case?
Not only that, but I think it's noteworthy that in literally every hearing I have attended, whether at the state levels in New Jersey and California or at the federal levels, the USDOL hearings last summer, the U.S. Small Business Administration Office of Advocacy hearings last summer, the vast majority of participants who are actual independent contractors are screaming no and saying stop. The people who are showing up to push this on us are people like union lawyers, like the woman sitting next to me.
So I've got to think, in your position, it would be extremely demeaning to be told that you're not intelligent enough, basically, is what's being told, to make the decision that's best for you.
What we see among the members of our group, they tend to go through something like the stages of grief. When they first find out what's going on, their first response is disbelief. There's no way the government could be trying to take away my income. Who am I bothering? I'm not doing anything wrong. Then they go and try to talk to their lawmakers, and they get the door slammed in their face. Then it turns to shock. Then it turns to anger. If they have voted in the past for a lot of Democrats, their next emotion is betrayal. We see it all the time. And at that point, they're ready to fight. They're ready to stand up and fight for their careers. So yes, sir, we do feel quite disturbed by this whole thing, and we do intend to continue fighting for our rights to choose self-employment.
So I don't know if you can see this from where you're at, but this is a photo and a website about a new constituent of mine. Her name is Dee Sova. She was a resident of California, and she has an amazing record. She has 27 years experience as a truck driver. All of which there's no accidents involved, like millions of miles without having an accident. She is a member of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. She established an organization called Trucking Divas Rock, okay? This is a community leader. This is someone that any state would be proud to have as a constituent. And I happen to be the lucky community that got her because of the failed policies that California implemented. And to me, the idea that she is not capable of making good decisions for her and her family is what's ridiculous. I think it's demeaning to this woman who is a minority business owner, who is successful, has been extremely successful, for us to basically jerk her around, make her up her family and move to an entirely new state because we want to get more people on union dues, right?
Not only that, sir, UCLA Health put out a study less than a year ago. Self-employed women, 43% lower risk of high blood pressure, 34% lower risk of reporting obesity, 30% lower risk of reporting diabetes compared to women who work for salaries and wages. Self-employed women were also more likely to report exercising and having a lower body mass index. I don't think that's a shock to anybody, right? You get to be your own boss, you get to be in charge of your own life, you get to choose what happens to you every day, day in and day out. You feel a lot better, and you do a lot better.
Thank you. I'm going to butcher your name, Miss Palagashvili.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so as an economist, you talked about the impact on the economy. Can you elaborate, especially when there's a 64% chance, according to people that are studying the economy, that we are facing a recession. Can you describe the impact of, if we get into a recession and jobs are hard to find, of now there's not an option for people to become independent contractors?
Thank you for your question. And I just want to add a little note here that the DOL rule will lead to significantly fewer independent work opportunities. And the way it will do that is in two ways. One, it makes it illegal for some freelancers to continue being freelancers because of the way that the DOL has written the law. And the second way it does that is even if an independent contractor is properly classified under the new DOL rule, the rule itself adds so much confusion, complexity, that it would deter small organizations from working with independent contractors altogether because they don't have extensive legal counsel to rely on to say, hey, is this person properly classified or not? And that's exactly why the Small Business Administration wrote a letter to the Department of Labor saying we have grave concerns about this rule for small business owners.